Welcome, beautiful cosmic travelers, mystic INFJs, empaths, and starseeds. In today's timeless pick a card reading, we're taking a look at your soul contract and asking, what is it that you came here to do? But it's not just about your purpose, it's about your energetic imprint on the collective. So choose a group that activates your field, the one that you feel most aligned to. Grid Weaver, the creative, the influencer, which is the magnetic, or is it the seer of echoes, the intuitive? And I will be back for your reading. Welcome back, Group 1. As you can see on the table, you form part of the starseed collective. Your energy comes in from those beyond the earthly plane, and you're feeling the energy of being part of this earthly existence. Sometimes you feel different. Sometimes you feel like you don't fit in. Sometimes you feel like this is not your home world. But you chose to come here for a reason. Part of that reason was to experience what it's like on Earth. And that includes feeling the senses of being in a physical body. For some of you, you come from realms that don't have physical bodies. No, it moves far beyond starseed energy. And this is energy that exists on other dimensions. And you've come into this dimension, this earthly 3D dimension, with purpose and intention. So part of that is to feel what it's like to be in a physical body, to enjoy the senses. You also have very Leo energy on the table with the social acceptance and achieve recognition. Both of these feel very much Leo, shining your light energy. Sometimes your light stands out a little because it's different. It's different. Sometimes you try to dim that light just to fit in. Sometimes you almost mask who you really are because you want to fit in with the other earthlings. But you're a full package here. You're a complete package, and you have to remember that. It's part of who you are. But this existence is also who you are as well. You are in a physical body, experiencing just like everybody else here. And sometimes needing to fit in is important. You try to hide those parts of yourself, the starseed parts of yourself, so you don't seem a little weird or quirky. Now, the alignment card that you've chosen, the Grid Weaver, this is very creative energy. But I feel it's very attuned to bringing in new forms of structure or new forms of being. Now, it feels to be, because especially with that given bottom line, when we get to the bottom line, I'm sensing something around bringing in past experiences that you have on other dimensions or other timelines or other places, ways to connect the people and the collective, because we've got a lot of energy around social and collective energy, standing out from collective energy. It's very Leo energy, but also being accepted by peers and accepted by everybody around you. So deep here with this, because mission or having a sense of what you come into this world to do is such a important feeling, to feel connected or part of something. It's like a stirring that you have deep down, like a mission. You know you're meant to do. You're meant to integrate something into this reality. What I'm picking up around you, Group 1, is that you have a knack or ability, whether you're opening your eyes to remember this ability, that you can connect in from other realms, other dimensions, other places or contacts, to bring that infrastructure into the creative. So it is about creative energy. It's about creating in this world, bringing spiritual energy into physical form. That's what I'm getting around you. Now, aligning to your highest timeline. So part of your mission is putting humanity on the best possible timeline, whether that you do that through energetic, whether you do that by being part of community or groups or in some form. So here it's about one thing you're coming into is experience part of your mission for some of you. Now this is a group reading, so you have to take what resonates with you and leave what does not. But what I'm picking up here is that there's a creative energy that involves bringing things in from other realms, other places, other dimensions, and creating them and creating structure or form into the physical realm. But I also feel that you need to remember to enjoy being in this physical body, because you may not be in a physical body when you depart this world. You may go back to essence form or spirit form. I feel you being vibrancy and beautiful energy. Maybe you've made that conscious decision that you're not returning back to physical form, and you're very determined on achieving your mission so you can return back to your soul family, your star family, or back to your divine spark or your God essence. But there's energy here of you want to feel like you're doing what you're supposed. You came here for a reason, and you feel like if you don't achieve that reason, then you're going to have to return, and you don't want to return. It's much harder than what you thought it was going to be. The denseness of this reality is more challenging and difficult. Now, I'm not saying it's always challenging. This is where you need to focus on the senses and focus on the beautiful things around you, the tastes, the smells, the visions, the sights, the physical 5 senses that are beautiful. You need to focus on those, because that is where the beauty lies. And that's the things that you have to remember to get the enjoyment out, because they may not be in your next form. But also I'm feeling like if you feel like you really don't want to come back, so you feel like you have to know what this mission is, because you want to make sure that you do it and you do it right, because you want to feel like you've done the right thing, so then you can move on. Now I've got this achieve recognition. So for some of you, it's about achieving recognition. Some of you, it's about feeling, but I feel strongly that it's more about a sense of inner recognition. It's a sense of realizing who you are and feeling like, because we've got these cards on the table, this feeling and this recognition, but it feels like a sense of feeling in your soul that you've done what you came here to do, and that's all you can do. And if you can have that feeling, then you won't return. You'll feel like you've done what you were meant to do. Now you need to think bigger than what you're thinking. So the mission is beyond you. So the mission is about connecting worlds. It's connecting realms. It's connecting creating, really. So in a way it connects different dimensions, it connects different worlds, brings them into this physical realm, and it comes from your experiences in past lives or past timelines, past experiences, and that there's a better way of doing things. So it's about anchoring in that light, or that light grid, into this grid in this world that we're in right now. So it's about pulling through that energy, mostly from your experience, mostly from what you've been through in past lives or past, that deep in your soul that there's a better way, but you're trying to find a way to anchor that into this life, to leave the world, a better place than what it was when you came into it. That's mostly what your mission is here. For some of you, it's Taurian energy. It's energy of just feeling and being part of community, being part of senses, finding your safe place, and really being accepted by the people, being part of the people, learning from them, understanding how Earth people work. I say that because you've got the starseed on the table. So here it's about really just mixing with the people and understanding them. There's a better way, but you're not going to force it on anybody, because that's not what your mission is. Your mission is not to say to someone there's a better way of doing this. Your mission is anchoring it through experience and light work, and anchoring it into this timeline, not in a forceful way, because the people don't need to be forced or coerced into a path, but you need to be able to shine a beautiful light and lead by example, because this is where achieve recognition comes into it. So if you're leading by example on the way you think it's a better way to live, and this can include things like being vegan, and it'll be different for everybody, or just being kinder to people, being more positive, or having examples of manifesting abilities and things that you do that form or forming physical bonds even, but it's ways that you can physically prove it's like you talk the talk, but you need to walk the walk. So once you're proving that these things exist and these things work, you're leading by example, achieving recognition, the social herd, because that's what social acceptance is. It's like the herd see that there's a better way of doing things. So it's not you forcing your way on others, it's you leading by example and people seeing, okay, that's a good way to live your life. It's a good philosophy to hold, or it's a good kindness way. And it'll be different for everybody. It's what rings true in your heart that you think is something beautiful about your memories and your past and lives that you've had, and how you want to weave it into this reality, because others will follow along. They'll see the way that you live and they'll want to follow that with you. Now, I'm feeling forbidden fruit, access restricted is where my eyes are directed to, and I cannot move them from that position. Forbidden fruit talks about opening doors of information. Now, what I'm getting is starseed, access restricted. You don't have restriction. You don't have access to the tools that you had in your other dimensions, in your other planets, your other places, your starseed. You're here on this earth with 5 senses. We're very restricted here. And that's one of the things that you don't really love about it. In other dimensions, it's like you think about something, you have your right vibration, and things happen instantly. And here it really annoys you a little bit that there's a like a time lapse or a delay, and you don't have the tools that you even if it's physical tools. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's body tools or senses or physical tools, but I feel there's restrictions, and I feel like you're restricted in your life as to how much you can do. So you're working in this life to show there's a better way by example, not by coercion, but you're limited in the way that you can prove that, because we don't have the tools here that we have in other dimensions. So you're feeling very restricted by that energy. Now, simultaneously unfolding at the same time, these dimensions all exist at the same time. These timelines exist at the same time. You are living many full lives in different dimensions, different timelines. And I'm feeling like in some you're finding you have resources. You've overcome obstacles and challenges in those lifetimes. Maybe try and tune into or ask those parts of yourself. How do I overcome these restrictions? So where you're feeling these hurdles or those boundaries or these issues, and that could be in, okay, why you feel so unsettled here, why you feel restricted here, why you feel like you don't want to return here. What are these things that are holding you back? And these things you've already fixed in other timelines. So maybe tapping into that part of yourself to ask, how did I overcome these challenges or these restrictions so that I can do my mission or do what I'm supposed to do without being so restricted here in this physical form? Now we've got visionary mind, think bigger. Visionary mind is all about, it's all mental. So what you create in your mind, you're creating in your physical. So not only are you creating from the grid of other realms and bringing it into structure and form into this realm, but I'm feeling also part of that comes from your mental activity. So you think, I know I can, so therefore I will. So it's that kind of energy of knowing in your mind that you can do this, and setting your sights on something, setting your mind's intention on something, and you will achieve it. But partly with these restrictions that you're feeling, you need to tap into that part of yourself that's already overcome those restrictions. Now, whether you're tapping into your cosmic family because it's sitting below the star seed, or whether you're tapping into the parts of yourselves that's on a different timeline or dimension that's already overcome them, you'll find a way to, through your mind's eye or through your mind's downloads, it works in with your mind here, you'll find a way to overcome any challenges that you're actually finding here. So on the most basic of levels, group 1, I'm feeling you need to come in and enjoy being in this physical body. What does this physical earth have or this physical body have that may not be available to you in other forms. So think about the senses, think about, beautiful smells or aromas, the taste of certain fruits, or just things that you really find pleasure in this physical form. And that can be the beauty of the earth as well, focusing on beauty. But part of that, so that's part of the mission, enjoying this trip because it is a trip. But the other part of it comes into leading by example, not by coercion. So then we have this reliability, guide with clarity and trust. Okay, so guide with reality. Let me just show you what the card is there. It is the portal guide. Beautiful. No, I don't think I've ever pulled this card before. The portal guide. Let me think. So the portal guide in the book is somebody that comes in to help you on your mission. So the portal guide is the one that stands at the gate, keeps the gate open to allow you to go back and forth. So here it could be the starseed connection. It could be, now, isn't it, it's interesting that it's sitting, the forbidden fruit access restricted is sitting on top of the portal entry. So here maybe you're feeling like you're having difficulties accessing those realms, accessing your star seed. You know that's part of you, but you're having difficulties in accessing that. So maybe this is where you need to tune into your cosmic team and ask them to allow you access into these portals, or allow you access. And it's really about clarity and trust. So building up that you coming in with good intentions to complete your mission, what you came here to do. So you need to have that restriction back to those tools that you had, or the restriction back to, for some reason, even if it's charging up, or there's something that you're needing, there's for some reason that you're needing access back through to these past realms, these other planets, this other lifetime. There's energy here of, sorry, I got distracted. I've got an email on my coming through my computer. Back into your reading. So there's restrictions. Access restricted. You feel like you can't get back in touch with your guides, your starseed family, or getting back through the portals to go back into that energy. And you know what? You're probably doing it in your sleep. You probably have that access in your sleep. And even if you don't remember, if you're requesting that access, that's most likely where it's going to happen, through your dreams. So think about, okay, I want to achieve this mission. I really don't want to fail in this lifetime. I feel like it's something I need to do. I'm willing to do the work here. I'm willing to lead by example and not coercion. But I feel like I just really feel like I need to access that part of myself, whether that's a different timeline or different dimension or a different place. You need to access that part of yourself to say, okay, I need this right now. I need this to make me stronger. I need these tools that I know I have to be able to help me complete my mission here. Resolution, diplomatic solution. So there's always a way. There's always a way past restriction and hurdles. So if you're feeling challenged by the restrictions here of this life, of your mission, there's always a diplomatic solution here. There's a solution that happens. Now we've got endings. Worlds will fall for new ones to rise. Now, your mission is not about ending worlds. Your mission is about new ones rising. So part of, and I say that because I'm connecting back into the grid weaver energy over here. And in the background, there's all these little beautiful light codes that are all connected. It's like a grid work of connected building, almost like creating a brand new world. It's like, you think of a rendition, like a 3D rendition on a computer program of creating a new structure or a new realm. That's what I'm seeing. It's like a CAD program or something. It's like what architects use. I don't exactly know how that works, but what I'm seeing is like all these dot points that all join up to create the very basic forms of a new beginning. So it's a new structure. It's very structure orientated. So I feel you're part of creating the new world, creating the new structure. And that comes in through your past experience, even though you don't have the tools with you that you had as a weaver, a grid weaver in your past existence, your past realms, your other part of yourself. It may not even be past. That's what I'm getting. Like, things happen simultaneously. This is all happening at the same time. This is you on the higher planes. So it's you. Where I keep saying past lives. It's not what I mean. It's like it's you. It's all happening at the same time. So it's the higher parts of yourself, the higher self that knows, it has the tools. You're an expert in this. You know how to create worlds. You've done it many, many times before. Old worlds are crumbling. They're falling because those structures and those systems have to fall. So you are part of the bridge or the building or the construction of these new structures or forms of these new worlds. Now, whether it doesn't mean that you're physically building, although you may be, it's more about leading by example, about showing how there's a better way to live, a better way to be. And that's part of building communities, building the new world, because that's mostly, you can see that, like the last card there that I'm reading at the very bottom is the endings, but you're not part of the endings. You're not here for the endings. You're here to build the new. You're here to, because you're a grid weaver, you are like an architect of a structure and a form. You create into being through example, and that's through your light. Now, although you don't have those building tools that you, though parts of yourself, the higher self, you're still here to bring through the way, lead by example as to how to live a better life, because the structure's coming, those tools are coming, but they're not here until old worlds fail, old systems fail, and then we can begin again with this new energy. But you're part of that new beginning. You're part of that leading by example in showing better ways to be, a better person to be, a better way to live. Hope that resonates with you, Group 1. It's group reading, so take what resonates with you and leave what does not. But you are the beautiful grid weavers. You're the creators. You're the ones that create new structures, new worlds, but you do that through example. So thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you on the next reading. Group 2. Okay, I'm going to go deep with these readings, very detailed, because I know how important it is to feel like you want to understand what your mission is. Now, Group 2, we've got here that you feel like you are shaping the world in some way. So your input, your influence shapes the world in some way. So it's very intentional. You're very intentional with your purpose, what you came here to do, and you feel like it's got a lot to do with your mindset. So you think it and it will be. So you and you do. You are a. It's this persuasion field, which means you're able to influence that. You're able to bend reality. You're able to move things around. Now, this is the beautiful mystic INFJs. This is the beautiful empaths and the beautiful starseed beings. This is the beautiful people that know, that are connected very much to the higher self energy, connected to what this lifetime, when you can look around and see people that are just here just to be like, maybe NPCs, like non-player people in this game. So that's what I'm kind of picking up around you. Now, in every part of this reading, it's giving me vibes of like a video game. It's like we're in a game coming from your perspective, and you know how to influence the game. So you're like a programmer of this game. So your influence is very powerful in affecting the outcome of this game. Now, but you've got a lot more to your mission than just that. There's a lot more. There's a lot of work here for you to do. You've got a lot to do. This energy, but the way you think plays a big part in that. So you need to be very responsible with your thoughts, because they're very, very powerful, and you can shape not only your path, but other people's paths by the way you think. So you need to be very, very cautious about that. You have very, very strong energy. So getting into your energy here is, and that's what I was getting about, like the NPCs in the game. You're not like that at all, but you recognize that. You can see somebody that's just here to play. Is part of the game, and you can tell who's here to change the game, create the game, build the game from within the structure or within the simulation. So that's where you stand. You're in here as part of like it feels like a game designer in some way, that, okay, I'm stepping in here as somebody. I see you at like a control panel, and it's like your job normally is to be part of writing this code or controlling the simulation from the outside of it, but it's like you have to come into it because you've got to get a better understanding of it, or you feel like you can influence a little bit, even though you influence. I don't know why I'm going here with this group too, but it's like influencing on the outside of the simulation bubble. It's you moving controllers around, but really having a good understanding of it means that you've got to be in it and be part of it. Now, what I'm thinking about is that movie, like the maze, where the two out of the maze that ended up in the maze were workers of the maze. So that's kind of the vibe I'm picking up around your group too. It's like normally you're on the outside of the simulation, but you're here to fix it or reprogram it or recode it, but you're required to be here to understand exactly what went wrong here in order for you to fix it. But there's more, there's lots more for you group too. Get into these cards and get a little bit further, a little bit deeper here. Now we've got emotional healing. So part of your influence that you play in rewriting or reprogramming this field through your intellect, through your mind, through the way you think. So part of that is through healing. There's some things here that need healing. Now there's issues also with the boundary of the simulation, and I don't know why I'm talking about this group too, but hopefully it resonates with you. Now, okay, one thing that I'm picking up on is like the trap, like the soul trap, and the boundaries. So, okay, there's something going on around the soul trap has been trauma on the people that have been recycled through this soul trap over and over again when maybe they weren't supposed to be, and you're coming in to help release them from this cycle. Okay, whatever this cycle is, I don't know if it's like the reincarnation cycle, but there's a cycle that keeps repeating and going over and over again in the collective. I feel you're on the outside of it. I feel like I said, I keep seeing you on the outside of this, and you're seeing in to fix it from the inside, but you can't get control of it on the outside. This is, okay, I'm picking up all kinds of like ASEANs, there's different, and I don't quite know what they are, but I'm hearing it. So it's like on the outside of the physical reality. Now I hope this is okay to talk in this kind of really woo-woo way, but this is what's coming through. So hopefully you understand. And if you know what the real names of these people, I can't quite think now exactly who they are. It's like these group of people on the other side in the physical realm or a different realm that are there to protect and guide the earth structure, the earth playground, the earth program, I might say. So they are on the outside, they're programmers, they sit up with their control panel, and they, work out synchronicities, and they push their little avatars around and life in general. So what we experience on the physical plane here is life. The ones on the outside of that, of the bubble, which is you, normally, that's what your job was. So your job was to move things around, program things. I don't know exactly how that works, but that's what I see you doing. And I feel there's been an issue. Somebody's come in and corrupted that program. It's something's gone wrong. Like there's a malfunction to this whole Earth program for some reason. It's not the way it's supposed to be. And you, as one of the originals, the original programmers of this design, this simulation design, or this game, or whatever it is saying, okay, this is not what it's meant to be. This regurgitating of these souls, or this loop that keeps repeating, is having a trauma effect on the souls. So I need to come in to do something to release, because we see trapped and release people from this soul trap, or this regurgitation of this cycle, because there's healing that is required here. God, that was a lot to get out. Okay, so again, this is a group reading, so please take this if this resonates with you. If this doesn't resonate with you, a more basic way to understand this would be that There's a sense here of something being trapped, people trapped, you trapped, souls trapped, people trapped in this existence, and you're needing to release them. So part of your influence and your abilities is to be able to help people and free them from the trap, however you do that. So you influence them. You're influencing them by what you say. It's more physical and hands-on actually down here. Otherwise, you'd be doing it from outside the simulation. So you're doing it hands-on. You're really trying to work through, and it could be even that part of your job is like a therapist or a healer of some sort. Maybe part of your mission is to be a therapist or a healer, because you're helping people go through these, work through the traumas of reoccurring loops that they go through. And I don't know if that means like a physical job that you have where you're helping people through past traumas, or if this is more of a soul journey or a soul level thing that you're meant to do. But it feels like you have to come and do it from the inside through experience. Now, that could be that you have to experience it yourself to understand what that means, because maybe you don't understand it fully from outside the simulation. So part of your mission is to come and participate in this trauma experience to understand how it happened, why it happened, and exactly what went wrong here. So that's what I'm getting is your mission. That's massive. You've got this massive mission here. And you've got this Earth Guardian, grounding and protecting. You're here to protect the collective energy, the people that have been through so much trauma. And you think about the world in the last few years and how much trauma there has been. Now, if you think about generations back, there was no trauma, nothing like what is felt in the collective energy right now. Something has gone wrong. I don't think this soul of a psyche of general people are meant to be experiencing so much trauma. We didn't come here for that. We come here to experience the beauty of the earth, to make connections with people, enjoy the people. But I feel like something's gone wrong in the simulation, in the program, in this existence. And you're stepping in with others. It's not just you. It's part of a whole group of people that says, okay, my job normally was to sit on the outside and program this, but I feel like there's something gone wrong. I've got to actually go into the program and fix it from the inside, because I can't fix it from the outside. I don't have control of it in that way anymore. This is what they're showing me. So really, really deep. So you're seeking guidance and light. You're showing the way. You're shining the way. There's darkness. There's a sense of being trapped. Now there's trauma replaying. So whether that is on this physical program playing over and over again, every single day we're seeing trauma, we're seeing world events, we're seeing earthquakes, natural disasters, we're seeing wars, we're seeing plagues and everything else. And just the breath work here of how stressful this is. This is not what we signed up for. This is not what our life was supposed to be. Something has gone wrong here. And it's you, group 2, you're part of the wave of people that came in to fix it from the inside. You're releasing people from this trap, this experience. Very interesting. Really interesting. I know I don't fit into group 2, but it's a really beautiful, beautiful energy. Brave too. A brave group of people that came down into this life, considering the life that you had, your existence prior, to step into this life, took courage and strength to come in and fix the problems here, to fix the problems of trauma and release people. Now, whether your hands on of influencing the system to go the right way, making changes in political situations, whether you're making changes to structural situations or healing people of traumas, like there's very thick, dark energy here in this realm. And it's like you're coming in to do a bit of a cleanup. So, and that is partly your influence here is to clean and heal. But yeah, you're also like shining a guiding light to show people the direction and the way. So people are in the dark here. It's really like this whole mind wipe thing, and not knowing what your purpose is, not knowing what you really came here for, but knowing it's not this. You're coming in to try and shine the light to show people what the real message is, what the real way was. So it's an important message. It's a very important mission that you have. You're a protector. You're a guardian. You're a healer. You are a guiding light to show humanity or the collective energy that you're trying to fix it. It's not even leading by example like group 1. It's more like you're here to fix it. There's a problem and you've come in to fix it physically from the inside. So very, very strong. And that takes bravery, that takes strength, and that takes courage, but you're also aware of it. I want to show you here the awareness card, which is it is the embodied code. Okay, and here you go. This is kind of giving me the picture, the whole thing of what it is. Okay, so you're surrounded by code. This simulation, it's all code. It's like this program that you are very familiar with. You know how the code works inside and out, but you've had to go inside to understand it from more of an inside perspective, to be more aware of exactly what's going on. So I've already actually read through this card energetically without opening it and having a look at it. This was part of the energy of having to come in and physically understand what's going on here, what went wrong here, for you to be able to fix it, because for some reason, something's gone wrong on the outside, where on the higher planes, like the higher guides, higher self kind of energy, you can't fix it from up there. So you're having to come be born in physical bodies to try and fix it down here. That's what I'm seeing, where you've stepped into the physical body. Like, this is your reality in the back here. You're the coder, you're the programmer, you're the one that works like in the higher self position. But you've had to step into this physical body to come and fix whatever problems we've got with this, or, deal with the emotional traumas that the people have experienced from being trapped here in this reality that it's not meant to be the way it is. So all this repetition of bad news, world events, earthquakes, natural disasters, war, famine, plague, all those kind of things, over and over again in quick succession, one thing after another, it's not meant to play like that. It's not meant to play out like that. But there's something gone wrong with the program, and it keeps just regurgitating the bad programs instead of the good ones, or mixing them in. So it's supposed to be like even balanced, a bit of both, but it's not. In the last decade, it's been on replay and you know what, it's probably even a couple of decades, because by the time you incarnated, knowing there was a problem back then, to your life now, and whatever age that is for you, please let me know what your age is. You've come in knowing that there's a problem in the life right now. So you're at the peak age right now, whatever you are, to understand what your mission is, and you're going to be victory, success. It says it's going to go in your favor. You have an important job to do, and you're here to do it, and you're going to complete your mission. Thank you so much for joining me, Group 2. Take what resonates, leave what does not, and I'll see you again on the next reading. Welcome back, Group 3. This is a group reading, so please take what resonates, but leave what does not. I'm going to go very deep and very detailed in this reading, because I know that missions are such an important part. We want to feel like we're doing what we're meant to be doing. And I think we're coming up into really important times for the light workers to be stepping in, to be doing their mission. So I want to try and find the guidance for you. Again, trust your heart here, trust your own discernment, and really just lean into what resonates with you here in this reading. Leave in the comments, let me know what it is that resonates with you as part of your mission. Now, you are the seer of echoes, insight, intuitive attunement. So you are the ones here that come in, or you've been developing your intuition, your psychic gifts. You've been really working hard to maintain that spiritual connection. Interesting. I can see some things already coming up for you, Group 3. Okay, you're holding a connection here. You're holding things together. You're making sure that we don't lose that part of ourselves. You've been working really hard for yourself personally to make sure that you're building your skills, your intuition, your psychic development. and you're keeping your light switch on, you're keeping your third eye open, you're being very attuned to what's going on in the world right now. And I'm talking the difference now between your energy group 3 is between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. There's something going on there. Now, I'm noticing on that top line, we've got learn to be harmonious, we've got the balancing the two. And definitely with your energy, I'm picking up the balance between physical and the spiritual. This is where your mission will lie within this area. Valuing yourself, of course, is confidence, having faith, having trust, having confidence in yourself. Trust what you're getting. So again, where I said come back to your resonance and what really aligns to you, I feel it's not just for this reading, but it's in everything. You really have to trust what you're picking up. Trust in the people and how you're reading situations, reading rooms, reading people. Really, you need to learn to value your skills because you've worked hard at having them. And as opposed to somebody that's just completely switched off, doesn't believe in any of this stuff, you've done so well to hang on to that connection, to work that connection, and to be strong with your gifts. So you need to value the gifts that you do have. Even if you think you want to be better, you want better gifts, somebody else is better than you, stop comparing. You have done so well in your life. You've done so well to even recognize that you have a spiritual side of yourself. You have a spiritual realm. I always hate that word spiritual. I feel like there needs to be a better word, but what I'm talking about is the different layers of our being. So like a lot of people just exist in the physical plane, just as a physical being, going to work, you know, engaging in worldly pleasures and physical things and accumulating assets. But you have done really well to try and maintain a balance of that part of yourself as well. So being in really in touch with every level of yourself. Now, for some of you, it could be like the mental, the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual realms. You're really trying to be harmonize those things. And why I say that, we've got a lot of harmony here. We've got like the cosmic law, balance, fairness, and justice. That is about balance, but it's also is the learn to be harmonious. It's about balancing every part of yourself. So understanding that you exist on many dimensions as far as what makes you you. You have a spiritual part of yourself, you have a mental part of yourself, you have an emotional part, and you have a physical part. And you have to be very careful, or you probably already are careful, to make sure you are feeding every part of you, every part of your mind, body, and soul, every part of every realm that makes you who you are. For some of you can see straight away there, wake up others. Now that probably feels like what your mission is. It goes deeper. There's more to it than that. You've maybe been awake for a very long time. I see the person on the inside card, very wide-eyed, big open third eye. This is somebody that is aware. They're looking into their crystal ball. They know what's going on. They know what's coming. They can see predictions. They feel something is coming. Whether you're seeing it through clairvoyant visions, it says seer of echoes. Again, echoes means past things that have already happened. So you have the ability to see things past, present, and future. You've seen other timelines collapse. You've seen other realities play out. So you know how things go. So you've got the awareness. That's what I'm saying. So you have this beautiful awareness about every part of you, and you work hard to maintain balance in every area of your life. Now, waking up others, you may just think off the cuff, okay, my mission here is to wake other people up. I'm awake. I'm aware. I know what's going on in this world. I know, about all these different dimensions. I know about every mind, body, and spirit side of myself. I've worked hard on maintaining that, finding balance in that. And I feel like my mission is to make other people aware that they're not just a physical body. They're not just here to go to work and obtain assets and like things or stuff. There's more to them, and you're trying to wake people up and say you've got to value every part of yourself. You've got to give value to the other layers of who you really are. So maybe part of yourself is to be like a teacher, to be part of letting people understand that they're more than just this physical body. Maybe that's part of who you are. Maybe you do it by example. Maybe you do it by teaching. Maybe you do it by somebody that just thinks, okay, this is my mission. I think this is what I'm meant to do, because it's a cliche thing. It's something we hear people say, my mission here is to wake people up. So it's kind of one of those little pigeonhole areas. So you're more than that. You are definitely more than that. But I feel like it's probably like a stream of what you're meant to do. You're meant to teach others. You're meant to guide others. You're meant to show people that we're not separate. Our spirit part and our physical part is not separate beings, it's one. And people are separating themselves from the spiritual essence. Now, I don't know if, and it says simultaneously at the same time. So we are existing on a spiritual realm. We're part of maybe a higher self. We're part of that part of ourselves that's very in tuned into the universal flow, or in tune into the psychic ability. So you don't just use your five senses, your five physical senses. You're aware that we have other senses as well. So I'm not sure if this is from their physical or becoming more separated from their spiritual. So this could be happening because of distractions. This could be happening because of the fear-based energy that's going in the world. This could be happening because of social media and our devices, and we're very head down in devices that we're neglecting that part of ourself, neglecting the spiritual side. If this is you, you need to do something about this. You need to make sure you're balancing your spiritual energy, because it's a very, very big part of your mission. You're meant to combine the two. You're meant to work them both together. You're meant to be part of the physical, have a physical body, do physical things, be part of this life, go to work, accumulate assets, do those physical things that everybody else does. But you're meant to maintain that connection to the spiritual as well. You're meant to maintain the balance between the realms. So if you're very distracted by social media, spend a lot of time on your device, you need to make sure that you're separating. And because you know what those devices do, you can see up on that top there, that person with that device sitting next to them sleeping. It puts you asleep. So just please be aware that you're so, that part of your mission is to not go back to sleep. Even though these devices are meant to put us back to sleep, you need to be awake, because part of your job, your mission, is to help other people wake up. And you can't do that if you're falling asleep as well. So please make sure that you're giving yourself time away from the distraction of fear-based energy that's going on in the world, or the energy of distractions like devices, because it's dividing you from your path. And your job is to bring people together and remind them that we're more than just a physical body. So you have to practice what you preach, is what the message is here. So simultaneously unfolding at the same time is every part of our existence, our physical, our mental, our emotional, and our spiritual. And your job or mission here is primarily for yourself. Make sure you maintain those connections and that balance, but also help other people do the same. Now, on the bottom, we've got ripple effects. These things have effects. So effects for choices that we make. Now, if you decide to go back to sleep, if you decide to participate in distractions or fear-based energy, or spend a lot of your time on devices, then that you're just another person lost in the system. And you're a very powerful, strong person that is not meant to get lost in the system. You're meant to show people the way. You're meant to show people the path. You're meant to let people know that we're more than just a physical body. That's part of who you are. It's not, and if that wake up others card wasn't there, I'll probably be more inclined to say you need to do it for yourself to find that alignment within yourself. But because you've got the wake up others, it's more important for you to make sure you don't go back to sleep, because you're here to help other people. You're a helper. You are a carer. You are a teacher. Big thing on the teaching for sure. But it's you showing that we're more than just physical bodies. We have to really get in tuned with the other parts of ourselves. And that's what I was getting at. Like, I don't know if it's like we're distracting or dividing or separating from our spiritual because of technology, because we're getting too attached to it could be AI, it could be devices, it could be just digital technology. But I don't know if this is intentional, to intentionally separate us from our spiritual path, or if it's just happening unintentionally. Either way, it's happening. It's happening. People are becoming separated from that part of themselves. They're losing their connection. Don't you lose your connection, because it's part of your mission. So down the bottom, the effects are ripple effects. Now, what are the effects if everybody starts to lose that spiritual connection? We all become drones, become controllable drones, because we're at service of self. We are in service to the system. We go to work, we just accumulate, we buy, we spend, we consume. We're part of that system they want us to be in. We're suppressed. Our beautiful light is dimmed. The beautiful light, which is our spark, our soul spark, our spirit, that is dimmed because we're just part of the system, and you're not meant to be that way. You're meant to show others that keep your lights on. Don't let the system dim your light. You especially need to take that on and practice what you preach, but you need to show others the way as well. So aligning to the highest timeline here. Aligning to the highest timeline means your higher self. It's aligning to your higher self and not allowing this division or this separation that's happening between the spiritual and the physical. And when I say spiritual, I mean it in the sense of your physical body versus your higher self connection. There's a severance going on here, a separation, and it's coming from neglecting to give energy to that spiritual part of ourselves, to work on those psychic gifts. And it's more than just psychic gifts. It's knowing that you're more than just a physical body. So not getting caught up in just going to work or just watching devices or being fear-based energy, suppressing your beautiful light. And so does fear, living in fear energy and paying attention to consuming through your eyes about wars and famine and plague and natural disasters and whatever other fear-based energies around. It dims your beautiful light and helps you separate from your spiritual being. So you really need to pay attention to being harmonious and understand that, you do absolutely need to be part of the physical world. You have to be respectful of your vessel. You have to pay attention to what you consume in your beautiful vessel, your body, your physical body, because it's what is here carrying you through your mission. But you also need to make sure you're paying attention and teaching others how to pay attention to their spiritual aspect as well. And that aligns them to the higher selves. So it's aligning the physical with the highest, so the higher self with the physical self, aligning the two to avoid that separation and making sure that both are being fed and not neglected. So that's your mission. You've got to do it for yourself. You've got to walk the walk, but you've got to help others do it as well. So group 3, I hope that resonates with you. Let me know if it does, and I'll see you on the next reading.